How's it going, Gimme Gang? Welcome back to the channel, and if you celebrate it, happy Turkey Week. It's Thanksgiving week, so happy holidays, everyone. Hope you guys enjoy your time with your family or whatever it is you do. Season 1 is rapidly approaching, and with it, we're probably going to get some balancing updates to a couple of the guns. And one thing I wanted to touch on before that update was the Akita shotgun, because as you might expect, this is probably going to be the shotgun that gets a pretty decent nerf if I had to guess. Now, it may not actually get nerfed, but I have a pretty fair suspicion it will, because it's really the only shotgun getting any sort of airplay over on Twitter, or X rather. And I gotta say too, it is without a doubt the best shotgun in the game right now. Even though it isn't a one-shot shotgun, this thing is sort of a jack of all trades where it can just kind of work in a lot of different scenarios, has pretty great damage, great range, and is really strong. And so I do think it is the #1 shotgun so far, so I figured I'd cover it before it gets nerfed. I just want to talk about this gun, its damage and ranges, my thoughts on it, how fun it is or whatever, and also give you guys a class or two to use. And as always, make sure to check the timestamps below in the description if you want to hop to a certain part of the video. Getting started, the first thing I usually look at is the damage and the ranges in this thing. And so here I have a nice little spreadsheet to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. And you might notice it looks different than it normally does. I decided to add a 50% pellet damage and time to kill and shots to kill portion of the spreadsheet, just so there's a little bit more idea of if you miss some of your shots, what's it going to look like potentially. Now, it's not always going to be 50%. It's just something I want to throw in there arbitrarily so you guys have a little bit more to see. As always with the Black Ops 7 shotguns, we have a base damage and then per pellet damage. So you take your base damage and however many pellets hit, you add on that damage to your base damage. That gives you your number for damage overall. So as you can see up close and personal, out to about the 6.4 meter mark, this thing is capable of two-shotting if all of your pellets hit. And that time to kill is roughly 150 milliseconds, which is very fast. I think a lot of guns in the game are killing above the 200 mark. So the fact that this can kill that quick is very good. Now, of course, this drops off out to 12 meters, 300 milliseconds, and then 450 from 12 to 20, which is not bad for a spammy shotgun like this that's relatively easy to use all things considered. Keep in mind that if you hit all of your 6 pellets, this gun only shoots 6 compared to the Echo 12 and the M10 Breacher, which shoot 8. This thing only shoots 6. So if you hit all 6 of your pellets, that's what it's going to look like. If you only hit about half and consistently hit about half, you can see that it basically takes an extra shot to kill at these ranges, and that does hurt your time to kill by a pretty substantial margin, but that's really past 12 meters, which isn't really where you should be using this. If you're below that 10 meter mark, especially below like 6 meters with this thing shreds. I mean, it just decimates people. It's very strong. A 2-shot kill with this feels really nice. This is probably the strongest full auto shotgun we've had in quite a while that I can remember. The base gun is fine. You don't even have to have this thing leveled up. It just shreds. The hardest thing about it is you just have to be close, which a lot of people might think that's not too difficult. In certain maps, it definitely can be. Don't let that fool you. But as long as you're up close and personal below 5 meters, this thing is basically a guaranteed kill. It's that strong. It's very good. We do have other ammo attachments. I'm not going to go in depth with slugs. I want to keep slugs as their own separate video, just because I like talking to them and spreading out my content over time. Now, some of you are probably wondering about Dragon's Breath on this shotgun, and it's absolutely worth it. In fact, in some ways, it's a lot stronger than the base gun. For whatever reason, they basically made it to where it deals more pellet damage, but less base damage by quite a bit. So it means that hitting pellets is more important. But what's really crazy is Dragon's Breath in this game, you basically deal 5 ticks of damage to the enemy player. If they don't have Flak Jacket, each tick does 6 damage. Otherwise, it only deals 2 if they have Flak Jacket, which means you can either get 10 extra damage or 30 extra damage from a burn. On top of that, this gun already has really great damage if you hit all your pellets with Dragon's Breath. So stack that with the Dragon's Breath burn damage on top. Man, this thing is an absolute menace. It does lower your time to kill potential because it does hurt your rate of fire, but it's still incredibly good, and you blind people. So the big thing here is that it's generally a little more inconsistent, but if you can hit your shots well, its 2-shot is better than the base ammo, and its 3-tap is also better. So definitely check out Dragon's Breath. This is probably going to get nerfed, but I figured I would point it out since some of you guys are curious about it. So now what I want to share is a very good Tac Stance build for this gun. Now, you don't have to rock Tac Stance. This thing is great. Just aim down sights. It has decently clean irons. They're a little obstructive, but they're pretty clean, and the recoil is not too bad. But for Tac Stance, this is a great build to use. We have a stock that helps with all of your spread and your Tac Stance spread. The full aim down sights choke, or the Akita full bore choke, helps greatly with your spread as well. And overall, you can get a very tight Tac Stance spread, making this super consistent if you can hit your shots, of course, because of course the trade-off is the tighter it is, the harder it is to actually hit your target. But if you do hit your target, the more consistent your damage will be. With these shotguns, Tac Stance with a choke tends to give you a much better spread than if you're just using a choke and aim down sights, like plain aim down sights. Tac Stance is always going to be the best way to go to get a really nice spread head when it comes to aiming down sights, or rather tac stance. You can rock a 16 round mag. It does hurt your sprint to fire speed, which you can probably be okay with. This thing has a great sprint to fire speed overall. It's not like the others. This one's like decent to start off with, and it just gets better mainly. So if you want to rock the 16 round mag, by all means go for it. But the 14 round I found is more than enough for me personally, and it has basically no downsides. So typically I just rock the 14. I am rocking the Pioneer Blaze under barrel grip, or rather, I'm sorry, the rear grip. It's not an under barrel grip. And that's just to get a little bit of a better sprint to fire speed, because it does help. It is nice to have this thing, if you're very aggressive, be pretty snappy and responsive with you. One thing I like to also rock on this gun, or with this gun, is Gung Ho, the perk. Gung Ho is very good on this shotgun in particular, and I found it to be really nice. It's really nice to just run up to people, not have to actually stop dead in your tracks and shoot. It's really nice to be able to like walk back left and right, hip fire this thing, and just spam it. It works super well, so I definitely encourage you guys to try it out. It's not mandatory, it doesn't make or break this thing, but it definitely elevates it, in my opinion, to a different level. That's definitely better than just the base gun without Gung Ho. Overall, for my thoughts on this shotgun, like I said before, this is definitely the #1 shotgun in the game. It just has a lot going for it. It's sort of the jack of all trades, where it's just got great damage, great range, great time to kill potential, very easy to use. It's not difficult to use. There's nothing weird about it. There's no charge mechanic. There's no 2 shots and then a reload or whatever like the Echo 12. It's just very much so pick it up and use it. And really the difficult part is just closing that gap like a traditional shotgun. That's your main focus here, is just making sure you're really close. I know that some people like to camp with that sort of thing. By all means, if that's how you want to play, go for it. I don't like to play that way. I'm very aggressive. And this shotgun just works in so many different scenarios, and it's very good. It's very consistent. That's one of the things I like about this one compared to the others too, is it just, I know what I'm getting into with this thing. I know what to expect from it. It's never like a hit marker machine. It's always generally getting me a kill, and it's solid. It's taking a good number of shots. I don't feel like I'm getting really cheated deaths or like I shouldn't have died there. It's really just a consistent shotgun, and I really like it, and it is easy to use. And because of that, I think it's going to get nerfed. I do think it's going to get nerfed. I've seen people post about it on Twitter, of course, and you know how people are with shotguns in Call of Duty. They tend not to like them, especially ones like this. So I have a pretty big hunch it's going to catch a nerf soon. I just have a feeling. We'll see, but this one's definitely on the chopping block, so you might as well use it while you can. I don't think it's like crazy broken or anything. I do think it's very strong. I can see a nerf being warranted in some parts of it, but generally it's not super crazy unbalanced. It's just, yeah, it's a little bit stronger than the others. Very strong, hard to deal with in some situations, so I can see it catching a nerf. But anyway, I blabbed on enough. Now let me know down below in the comments, what do you guys think about this shotgun? Do you think it's as good as I'm letting it on to be, or do you think it's actually not that good? And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.
Standing by. Establish UAV above.
Hardpoint identified.